Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is just going to be like a really chill update on what I've been reading. I have been watching as well. I've watched Death Note. I'm kind of like fully focused on Death Note, not only because I'm trying to create content around it, but because it is incredibly captivating in my opinion. So that's kind of the only thing I've been watching right now has been Death Note. But once I'm done with that, I kind of want to restart Tokyo Ghoul. I'm not going to lie. I saw some edits for it the other night and they looked really good, and it just reminded me how much I liked Tokyo Ghoul. And I never continued after the first season, so I think I might restart Tokyo Ghoul. I will keep you posted on that. But those are the only two things I've been watching. As far as reading, March was a very slumpy month for me, so I did get a lot of books in. It just took me forever to finish them. I felt like every book took me weeks to finish, which is not the norm for me. But we'll go through those. We'll get started with the manga. I read the first 4 volumes of the Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. So this is like so cute. It's kind of giving Romeo and Juliet, but like an academic setting. They're high schoolers, and it's just wholesome. It's sweet. I absolutely love the entire cast of characters, and I really can't wait to get into the 5th volume. I also just received the 6th. I just received the 6th. I think it released like at the very beginning of the month. So I'm really excited that I have 2 more of those to get into. I haven't decided if I'll pre-order the 7th. I probably will. Once I get to 5, I'll probably pre-order 7 just so that it gets here in time for me to finish 6 and then hop into 7. Book math. And then I also read the first volume of Skip and Loafer. Two of my mutuals on Book Talk and Instagram, Brian and Lydia, they put me on to the manga and the anime respectfully, and it has been so good. It is honestly, again, just really wholesome. They're very innocent and sweet, and I really enjoy it. They're really quick to read for me, but they keep me engaged the whole time I'm reading, and I'm like giddy, and I just love it. I absolutely love manga, romance manga, I should say. I have, I think, the first 9 volumes of Attack on Titan, which I'm really excited to start because you guys know how much I loved the anime, but I haven't started that yet. I think I want to get a little bit more comfortable with reading manga, like the flow of reading it in the correct order, and also I just want to explore more of the romance mangas because I do fear that once I pick up Attack on Titan, I'm probably going to go down a rabbit hole where I only read the darker ones. So I'm going to get as much of the romance, the lighthearted, fluffy ones in as I can before I shift focus, because I will probably go down a rabbit hole at that point. For my books this month, I did read Orbital on audiobook. It was good. It was fine. It's not really a story. It's about astronauts in space on a shuttle, and they basically are just talking about what they see, what they observe, how they behave on the shuttle, their interactions. There are flashbacks too, so we get a little bit of history on each of the players in the shuttle. It's good. I thought the imagery was executed very well. It just didn't hold my attention. I think maybe because I was only doing it on audiobook, it was fine. It was okay. I would definitely recommend if you're into like space stuff. If you like spacey stuff, that didn't sound any better. I just would say there's no story. Nothing is being resolved. It's just words on a page. It's just observations, but it was done pretty well. I picked up All Roads Lead Here. Yeah, that was the next audiobook I did. I do have the physical, but I don't know, like I couldn't get into it when I was just reading it, so I did the audiobook instead, and I didn't love the female narrator, but I really liked the story, and I loved the characters so much. Their relationships with each other outside of just the romance they were done so well, and they were really realistic to me, so I really enjoyed that story. Mariana Zapata has become an auto-read romance author for me, if I'm being honest, and All Roads Lead Here, while it's not my favorite, it did not surpass The Wall of Winnipeg in me in any way. I still thoroughly enjoyed it, and it convinced me that she is someone I can turn to when I do want that romance fix, especially because her books are slow burn. Like, I got to a point in All Roads Lead Here, I was like, if y'all don't do something on the next page, I'm DNFing this book. Like, I think I was at like 85%, and they finally were doing something. And it wasn't necessarily that I wanted to read Spice. I just wanted them to get together. I would definitely recommend All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata, or my favorite, The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. I also did read on my Kindle Under Lock by her. So I did a little bit of research because I picked up immediately on the writing being very different from Under Lock to All Roads Lead Here. And I found out that Under Lock is one of her much earlier books, while All Roads Lead Here is one of her more recent books. And just like the shift in her writing, the way it changed and not necessarily improved, because I really liked the writing in Underlock. I thought that the story was told very well and executed very well, but you could definitely see a difference in writing. And I thought it was just, it was a really cool perspective as the reader to pick up on it, and I enjoyed it. I pretty much read those back to back, which I think is why I picked up on it so quickly. But Under Lock, it's not a slow burn in my opinion. It kind of reads like a typical contemporary romance as far as pacing goes. And again, I read that and I was like, oh, the writing is different. Maybe I won't love it as much. I liked it just as much as I liked All Roads Lead Here. And again, I will die on this hill. She is an auto-read author for me, probably an auto-buy author for me as well, if I'm being honest. Just to get this one out of the way, Parable of the Sower. I mean, I did a review. It wasn't for me. I think I read this book at the wrong time in my life, but I would definitely recommend it if you would like to read Octavia E. Butler's work. I think this is a great place to start. It's very popular. People really like it. Just because I didn't like it doesn't mean I can't recommend it to others. The Third Rule of Time Travel was so much fun. I was not expecting a sci-fi thriller to be this much fun, and honestly, it got me a couple times. I was creeped out. I teared up. I really enjoyed the writing. I didn't feel like it was ever so convoluted that I couldn't keep track of the players and like what was going on, even though there's definitely an element of confusion. Like the author writes a certain way at a certain point to confuse you on purpose, and it was perfect though. Like it worked with the plot twist and the rest of the story, and that ending was insane in my opinion. I'm still thinking about this, and I think it's crazy that this is a standalone. That ending that's the end. I was like, what is going on right now? My most surprising read of March was A Love Letter to Whiskey. I don't like miscommunication trope. I don't like drawn out conflict that feels like you're never gonna find resolution. I don't appreciate that. I ate this book up, and it is the epitome of angsty miscommunication trope that goes on for hundreds of pages and never ends. And I enjoyed it. I really, really liked it. I couldn't put it down. It was a buddy read, and I basically blew through it. I know that my buddies don't like me very much after this book, but it's okay because they can't unfriend me. I have their addresses. It was really good. I would highly recommend if you're willing to put up with what I said, like all of that drawn out angst that you're like, oh my God, we know you're gonna end up together. Can you just get it over with? I'd recommend. I think I talked about this duology, the Gearbreakers and Godslayers duology, in my Attack on Titan video, but I really enjoyed Godslayers. I think that it wrapped up the duology really well. I would have appreciated a little bit more insight into after the resolution, but I still think that it ended well. I think it was written well. It stayed consistent from book 1 to book 2 as far as the quality of the story. So I love this one. I thought it was really good. It kind of sucks that it's over, but the good thing is I probably will reread this. This is definitely a series, a duology that I could pick up at some point and be like, I'm gonna get back into it. My first Ali Hazelwood book, Deep End. I mean, you guys, again, I have a review posted for this book. I don't really know how I feel about it, but I have Bride. I have the werewolf vampire one. I will be reading that because I genuinely enjoyed her writing style. Again, it was very bright and very fresh. I think that her writing works great as a palate cleanser in between these heavier books that I'm picking up. So I will be reading more of Ali Hazelwood. I just can't say that I loved the character dynamics in this one. They were a little frustrating, to put it nicely, but I would recommend. I mean, it was fun, except for when they were doing stuff towards the plot, but it was still fun. I read Sinful. I think I talked about this one as well. This is perfect if you like the Vampire Diaries, which I absolutely love the Vampire Diaries. It is like kind of over the top high school drama, but it just works. Like it was a lot of fun to read. The ending was very much so not what I was expecting at all. And again, if you like the character dynamics, if you like the storytelling of Vampire Diaries, the show, this is a perfect book to read. And I almost forgot, I also did a reread on my Kindle of Nevermind to Hold. I read that very early last year, like January, February of 2024. And I, for some reason, just needed another palette cleanser recently, so I picked that up, and I liked it. It's a lot of fun. It's corny. It's your typical contemporary romance, college sports romance, all that. It's very typical pacing, characters, but it was really fun to read, and it was kind of mindless for me, so it worked perfectly as a palette cleanser. I do think that I'll probably hit up more of those books in that interconnected series that she has, the author. I'll probably hit up another one the next time I need a palate cleanser, because I love hockey romances. It's like my kryptonite when it comes to like sports romance. I don't really like sports romance, but hockey romance, yes. Those are pretty much all the books I read in March, how I felt about them. I'm hoping that April will be a little bit better. It's not that I disliked all the books I read. I just felt like I wasn't enjoying the act of reading that much this month, but I was also sick. There was my birthday, which kind of throws everything out of whack sometimes. So hopefully April will be better. April's going to be a lot of fun though, because I am having a part of my TBR picked out by other book talkers and booktubers. So that's going to be really interesting to see what they pick for me, considering like I'm a little picky about the things I read. But I'm excited also because they all know me, so I'm pretty sure they'll pick good books. But yeah, but that's what I have for you today. Very chill reading update, a little bit of watching, not really. I will see you guys again for the next video, and as always, happy reading.